Recording. Okay. Being recorded. All right. So thank you for joining us. I'm Kelsey.
Hi, Kim. How are you?
And this is our podcast, Self-Advocacy Wins. It's pretty new, so we're really excited to have you. You're our first guest who we don't already know.
Yes.
Love that.
You are our second official guest.
Yes. So we're very
Love it.
appreciative. We're very appreciative that you're on here.
Thank you so much.
So
You're
for
welcome.
for people who don't know you, could you introduce yourself?
Yeah, my name's Drew. I own the hot sauce brand, Crippling Hot Sauce. We donate 5% to cerebral palsy research. We sold about 200,000 bottles last year alone.
Wow. And what made you interested in hot sauce to begin with?
Well, I was always a hot sauce fan. Growing up, I used it. At age 14, I lost about 150 pounds. So I got into it more just because it's one of the lower calorie item or like condiments out there. And I had this school business project about 2 years later. And it was like 2 days right before it was due. And I was like, man, what do I do? I gotta come up with something good. So I looked down, I'm like, I like making fun of myself and I like hot sauce. Let's do Crippling Hot Sauce. So I built out this whole plan around me making fun of myself and donating money to cerebral palsy research. And I'm like, this is a bang on idea. It's gonna do super well. Super excited. Turned it in. Was like, can't wait to see what grade I got. Ended up getting an 82, which is not bad, but I was like, I wonder where the kind of weird dot points that went up, and asked the teacher at the time why. He said, oh, I thought it was cool, but just I thought it was unrealistic. For whatever that reason may be, it drove me to do this. And 24 months later, we sold, like I said, 200,000 bottles last year.
And have you talked to that teacher since?
I have. He loves it.
Okay.
No hard feelings at all. I actually really appreciate him for kind of pushing me to do it, because if I got 100, I never would have done it. Besides that, I've had to go to college anyway, so it just saved me a lot of money in college tuition and gave me a good story to tell.
Oh, where do you go to school?
I go to school, small town in Missouri, southern Missouri. I since graduated, but yeah, I grew up in a town less than 2,000 people.
Wow, that's very small.
Yeah,
How
farm town.
I love it. How did that response feel at the moment?
I wasn't really too really sad about it. I just knew, like, look, everybody had an opinion, but it gave me a reason to go out and prove somebody wrong. And originally I thought I was just gonna sell it like local events, but then it actually took off, and now it's on all 50 states online and 500 retailers. We're planning on growing outside of the home market this year into next year, and just rolling with the punches and seeing where it takes us.
Wow, that's super impressive, because I watch a lot of Shark Tank and they're always like, don't go into retail. It's so hard to get shelf space.
I also go with the saying of like, I'm not here to satisfy people. So like, when my teacher said like I can't go to college, that like made me push more to do like your face. So I can relate, Drew. I can relate.
Love it. Yeah, to answer your question, it's not too difficult a lot of the times to get shelf space. It's just hard to get velocity, and that's what retail is based off of. You can get on this shelf, but doesn't mean all brands necessarily sell. So that's what you're kind of working towards. And then we've been super lucky to kind of get that fire lit, and we've been able to nurture it pretty well and go from there. It's all about being slow and methodical, because especially retail and this industry in general, it's very expensive to play in. I started with $3,000, and it's been difficult to grow. So we started with 3 original flavors that weren't hot at all. We then there was a select group of people that wanted we came out with 2 limited edition flavors first. We got a bacon and a pineapple teriyaki called Life's a Beach. Then people were like, oh, we want like a hotter version of your house. So we came out with this sauce a couple months ago called Ghost Pepper Palsy, and it seems to make those people happy.
Yeah, I love the names. We were just talking about, I love the copy on your website and all the names. Just really fun. I feel a little weird when I was saying them out loud because like I don't use a wheelchair, so I don't know if I guess I'm allowed to say the names of them, but they definitely feel more like a nice inside joke for you and Kamisha maybe.
No,
Yeah, I mean,
they're pretty cool. Pretty cool. I also like I was telling you, like, I also like the one, the Life's a Beach one. I love that one. That was pretty cool.
I love Do It for, what was it called? Just for the Parking. I like that one.
we try to keep names pretty general, but as far as like, I mean, are you allowed to say? I mean, I don't have a problem with it. I guess it really just depends on who you're talking to and that person's mindset. But I personally don't have a problem with it. I love it when people kind of get the humor and laugh at it. That was kind of the whole point, is showing that like no matter where you are in life or what financial situation you're in, humor can get you through just about anything. And
yeah, definitely. And then I was going to ask, so I'm also an entrepreneur. I'm working on an app for people with intellectual disabilities. It's social media. So I know that for me, having disability, for me, it's autism and mental health. I've had to do things a little bit differently when it comes to entrepreneurship. And I was just curious if you've had something similar where with your disability, you've maybe approached things differently or people have treated you differently.
yeah, I mean, of course, there's always going to be a select few people that treat you differently. Is that the norm? No, but between my young age and my disability, it's kind of hard to tell like which one people are treating me differently for, because it can go hand in hand. Because I started at
ways. Yeah.
I started at 16. I'm now 19. So I think that the young aspect actually has made people treat me different more than my disability.
Interesting.
Have you ever felt like people are just I'm the type of person that like loves to be at least try to be independent as possible, especially when I go like out and about. People people always be like, "Oh, can I help you with something?" I'm just like, "No, I can't. I can do it myself." So, do you ever come across with that type of like process, that type of like mindset of people like wanting to help you, but you can do it yourself?
Yeah, for sure. I always want to be as independent as I can. I guess it really depends though on at times how big of a rush I'm in. If I
Right.
have more time, I choose to do more things myself. If I'm in a rush, then I allow people to help me when they ask, just to speed up the process. But yeah, I preach independence, and I think independence is a huge thing. No matter what your ability level is, just whatever you could be independent on doing that. I think that's a huge win.
And a couple of the quotes that I love from your site: dreams don't care about your limitations, and also unrealistic dreams are the best kind. But you also talk about how living with CT for you is like living life on hard mode. So how do you stay motivated to pursue your dreams when you're dealing with something that maybe is challenging?
One of my big goals is to inspire more disabled people to go out and achieve their dreams. I had the privilege like last year, and I'm on the Shopify government team. We kind of push for legislation around disabled entrepreneurship and stuff like that. And the disabled unemployment rate is 86%. So that's one of my big goals is, yeah, like everybody can do something. They just have to see somebody that's doing that so that they can be like, oh, I could do that too. It's hard when you kind of don't have somebody to look up to. There's not many people in the disabled community, unfortunately, that like are in the spotlight because it's just kind of a generational thing that hasn't been broken yet. So that's my goal, is to be a inspiration and show people that like your life isn't over just because you have cerebral palsy or whatever your disability might be. It's simply just a obstacle, which everybody has obstacles in life. The obstacle for us is just there from the jump.
How do you stay positive and motivated?
I mean, how I do it, I set goals for myself.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not quitting until I achieve X goal or X number of bottles sold or X or X number of dollars donated.
Right.
That's how I do it. Everybody is different in the way that they need to be motivated. It actually helped me starting with a smaller goal. So when I was 14 and I started to lose weight, that actually built confidence. So that's actually what I suggest people to do, is kind of start small on their goals and go small to big. Start with something that's more easy to achieve and kind of get that momentum and build confidence, and then go for your big dream. Life is
Yeah.
long. Even if
Mhm.
you're 30, 40, 50 years old, there's a great chance your life is only half over. Most of us, or most people, 60 years from now, we're going to probably live into 100, 120, 150. So,
My grandpa's like 98 years old. He's still kicking.
That's awesome. So what advice, I was just curious, what advice would you give to entrepreneurs just in general, regardless of disability?
no, for sure. For entrepreneurs in general, it's go out there and do it. Don't think you have to have every step of the way planned. Most people, they get caught up in the fact that they don't have every situation, scenario, and idea planned out from the jump. But the reality is, there's so many different scenarios and stuff. You're never going to have everything planned out. So the best thing to do is just get out there and start learning and build from there. No, like I said, it doesn't matter if you have to start with $100 or $1,000, or you just have to do it on a smaller scale than if you had more money. So like if I only had $100, I would only be able to sell 10 bottles the first run. And go from there. It just takes longer, but the power with compound interest, and you can basically do anything, no matter the money. You just have to have hustle and good idea and keep going ahead.
What do you use to like hustle and bustle? Like, do you try your own hot sauces?
Yeah, I try my own hot sauces. Sometimes when you're like, when we do, research and development, we're launching a new flavor. You're trying it for months, and sometimes until we get that finished product, there's times that the first sample is not very good, but you still gotta choke it down so you can give kind of advice on how to make it better until you get to that end product where you're able to launch. And yes, I still use my hot sauce. I like Special Treatment the most. That's the one I typically use. I'm a bacon guy and I've always liked bacon, so yeah.
That sounds really good. Do you watch Hot Ones on YouTube?
I do. I think it's
Where
super
where
funny.
in the lineup would your hot sauces be?
So they got some really hot stuff. Our mild probably is near the bottom of their scale. Same with our medium. I would say even our hot is still like probably in the middle. And then our ghost pepper palsy is still probably like it's probably like 4 away from the hottest. So it's not too terribly hot, but it's not like mild at all either. Like if you like spice, it's gonna probably be enough. Like if you really like spice, it's gonna probably be enough for you. If you really if you really want cerebral palsy or like that's what you're going for, that it ain't gonna do it. Like
That's awesome. Yeah, I've been watching a lot of Hot Ones lately, and I can't really handle spice, so I would definitely need the milder sauces. But the teriyaki one sounds really good.
My mom is from like a different. I come from a different background, so we love different hot. She loves hot sauces and spice.
Yeah, I have an Irish English background, so we can't handle it.
yeah, I'm Irish and German, so it's not very common for my family either. I don't know where I got it from. Nobody in my family actually likes hot sauce. We were definitely a salt and pepper family, but I guess I snuck through a little bit. I don't know.
Even pepper's crazy for my family.
Yeah.
What would your wildest dream be with your hot sauces?
I really one of the things I really like struggle with. I don't get too far ahead of myself. So yeah, I have big dreams, but I'm thinking like next 6 months, next 12 months. I really don't think that far ahead. So I just say I want to take it as far as we can. I want to donate as much as we can. I want to expand our mission past cerebral palsy. I want to donate wheelchairs. I want to collab with veteran-owned brands. I want to support different causes. So that's the long-term vision. As far as like how many bottles sold or how many retailers we want, I don't really have an answer for that. I just know I want to take it as far as I can and support as many good causes as I can.
Sounds great, actually.
Yeah. And what are some of the organizations that you like to support?
Yeah, so we've kind of supported, local ones like the Heartland CP Foundation here in Missouri. We've done the Cerebral Palsy Reliance Research Foundation. We've done the National Cerebral Palsy Research Foundation. I like to kind of spread across multiple, both local, state, and national level, just to support as many of the good foundations as we can. However, there's not a ton I support because a lot of foundations, a lot of them are just there. And then the ones we donate to, actually, we do research into them and they actually do good work and they actually like are pushing the needle forward and the money is going to where they say it's going to. And yeah.
I'm just realizing I should do that. My app's about to be in beta testing, so it's not generating revenue now, but I should do that for organizations that work with people with IDD for like do 5%. That would be really cool. So thank you for that idea.
For sure. No, it's just very important to me that the 5% is going to an actual good cause. Just because it's a non-for-profit doesn't mean it's necessarily good. Um, so yeah, that I'm glad that that's something you want to do as well.
When you're not working and developing hot sauces, what do you like to do for fun?
I actually do not have it. Like, working is my livelihood. Sometimes I play video games with some of my friends and stuff, but other than that, like, I don't have like a ton of hobbies. I'm one that gets like laser focused on a goal, and that's all I do until that goal is finished.
There you go.
Uh,
It's like determination times like 1,000. I feel that. Because once I get passionate about something, I'm just like, go, go, go until it's done.
Absolutely.
I
For
love
sure.
that.
I hope you celebrate your wins though.
Yeah, for sure. The wins are celebrated, and I just you gotta stay grounded and remember that uh the goal's not over, and it's far from where we need to be. And I always so I say entrepreneurship is like jumping out of a plane and then assembling a plane on the way down for like a smooth landing. So you're jumping out of a broken plane, then trying to like reassemble a plane that can fly. And so it's like a tightrope walk all the way to the finish. But so
Yes.
uh there's always going to be issues that come up, and you're gonna get punched in the gut a lot. It's like a boxing match. But um that's why it's important, even though you make it, a certain level, in my case, 200,000 bottles, not to get too far ahead of yourself, because it's easy to kind of, even at this level, throw it all away.
And what would you say to investors who maybe have never invested in someone who has a disability and is maybe nervous about it?
I just say, look, I know like generations of that past, like they like disabled people are done upon, but like, look, you probably already invested in somebody with a disability before, because one I think it's 1 in 5 people in the world have a disability. And I just say, just because it's not known from the eye doesn't mean they don't have it. And I think I one of the stats I bring up is, I think the only person and with a disability really in a leadership world, in a top 100 company in the world, is a board member in the UK that has a disability. So that's something I like to bring up. And like, they investors like to see like where there's a massive opportunity for change. So they like stats like that, and it shows them that there is an opportunity here. And that's what my advice would be.
What's your favorite video game to play?
I play a lot of action shooters, some sports games, and so, but I really go back and forth. Like, I'll be fascinated with one game for like a month, and then I switch to like, I don't know, Madden for a month, and then I go play Call of Duty. And I really don't have a set favorite.
Does having CP affect how you play the video game?
Yes.
Oh, 100%. I suck. Yeah,
I
yeah.
I don't mean to speak for you, Drew, but yes, it does. 'Cause
Yeah.
you're holding okay. You have one like in my case, you have one hand that's like works,
Mhm.
like your strong hand, and then you just like have one hand that's like weak, and like with all the buttons, you're just like, oh my god, how like You don't even know how many times I've been like jumping around with like the player, and it's just like fight, fight, fight. It's hilarious.
What would make it, because we also talk a lot about accessibility, what would make video games more accessible for you?
I don't know because I'm looking to say both my hands they work well. The issue with cerebral palsy is reaction time. So that's like the games I like to play just take reaction time, which um, people with cerebral palsy on average don't have a lot of. So that's kind of the issue. So I don't really know how that could be more accessible. It's just kind of how the cookie crumbles sometimes, and that's okay. Just even me, just because I like doing things to the best of my ability doesn't mean I always have to be good at them. As long as I'm having fun, I don't really like video games or something that's never really mattered to me. They're entertainment. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's awesome. So I want to be mindful of your time. We really appreciate you being here with us and being on the show.
For
Yeah,
sure, just
we
always,
see you on Shark Tank.
yeah. Hopefully one day we get on Shark Tank, and even if not, uh, it's all good. And um, I never really, that's never really crossed my mind yet. I know you said you watch a lot of Shark Tank, but I'm just grinding and seeing where it takes me. If it takes me and we end up getting an opportunity to be on, that's cool. If not, that's also cool. So yeah.
Well, we will be rooting for you. Next time I buy some hot sauce, I'll make sure it is Crippling Hot Sauce. And we will link, of course, to your website down below and to your Instagram.
Well, thank you so much for joining us, and we'll stay in touch.
Yeah, thank you.
Yep.
All right.
For sure. Thank you
Bye.
so much.
Bye.
Okay, let me make sure.